All right, thank you. I want to thank everybody for joining us here for the 2023 Conference USA Championship Game press conference. We've got New Mexico State here from the audience's left to right. We have head coach Jerry Kill, wide receiver Trent Hudson, wide receiver Jonathan Brady, and linebacker Keyshawn Elliott. We're going to go ahead and start with a short opening statement from Coach Kill, and then to move to questions in the room. We'll take care of questions in the room first before moving to a couple via Zoom. So on Zoom, if you could please raise your hand, use the raise hand function. We'll get to you at the end of the in-person questions. And in the room, if you could please raise your hand, let us know you have a question. Eric over there will get the mic to you, and we'll go ahead and get started. So without further ado, Coach.
You guys didn't wait too long to get that up there. That's a joke. So everybody relax. Is that, it's first of all, I congratulate Liberty, their coach, their players. They're a very, very good football team. They deserve to be ranked 20th in the country. Their quarterback's our leading rusher and threw it. And that's the second time we played him, and he just doesn't make mistakes. Their offensive football team is very, very good. They did the things they needed to do to win the game, and our kids fought hard. Our starting quarterback came in here and didn't practice all week and played with a shoulder that was messed up, and he gave everything he had. And he's the toughest kid I've ever been around, and you can quote me on that. And I've coached for 40 years, and what he tried to do. And then our young one that came in, Blaze, he didn't bat an eye. He came in throwing, and to be honest with you, he surprised me a little bit. But he's going to be a good player too. But, our kids played hard. We didn't play well all the time, but they played hard. And I wouldn't want to coach anybody else. And so with that, any questions?
Go ahead and open it up to the room for questions.
Colin Deaver with KTSM in El Paso. Coach, just what was it about their offense tonight? I don't think they punted 700 total yards of offense. Just what did they do so well to hurt you guys tonight?
Quarterback. Next question. What do you want me to say? Quarterback. He's the difference. Next.
Coach David Teal with the Times-Dispatch in Richmond. What kind of explanation did you get from the officials on the pick in the end zone?
Not really any. Is that, they felt like, that it was, tied up, and felt the guy from Liberty pulled it away. That's wasn't a difference in the game or anything like that, but, it's a good play on both those kids' part, and, they called it, the way they seen it and replayed and so forth. And so you live with that. That's a tough call to make.
Coach, we've talked about it all season long, how this team, what they've been able to do this year, going to a conference title game, just their first year in the league and only your second year coaching, what a massive achievement that is. Just how proud are you of the guys for being able to get to this point?
I told them I wouldn't want to coach any other group, than the group that I've got. We came into this thing and we had 8 seniors, and that's it. And the rest of our players are young players. And for what they've done throughout the season is unbelievable. And, their coach and, I think we did a lot for our conference when we beat Auburn. And I think that showed a lot of people. I think it helped us all when we did that. And, the streak we went on and, the way we played, we played, let's see, this is the 14th game because we opened up early. And I think that's catching us a little bit physically. But that has nothing to do with, Liberty is a good football team. They beat our tail end twice. They didn't beat it once. So they beat us twice, and that tells you what kind of football team they've got.
Just another question for you. You guys weren't able to force them to punt at all throughout the game. I know you often make mid-game adjustments. Was it just kind of impossible no matter what you did to force them to punt?
I think we tried everything that we could. You know, we dropped eight. We did everything we could. Blitz, and you can't get there on the kid. He gets it out. You know, I think we're all frustrated through that series of things, but you know, we just couldn't stop him, and he's got a lot to do with it. I mean, he can run, he can throw it. I mean, you know, my hat's off to the kid, because you look at offense, and he was our leading rusher and leading thrower, and pretty much sums it up. And we couldn't stop him.
Coach, obviously, I know a disappointing loss for you guys, but you do still have, you know, another game coming up in the bowl. Just what was your message to the team in the locker room, just kind of with that in mind?
You know, we did say, you know, I talked about life in the locker room and how things go up and down in life, and how you handle, you know, defeat when things don't go your way. And I talked about them. You know, you gotta be a man in this situation, and it determines what happens later on down the road. And I mentioned we had to get another game to go, and you know, but this is the conference championship, and we talk more about it and life than, you know, talked about the next one. But I mean, you certainly mentioned it, but you know, we came to win, and it didn't work out. And you got a lot of kids in there that, you know, fought their tail ends off, and you know, it's tough to talk to a group when you lose. You want it to hurt. I've coached teams that didn't hurt enough because they didn't care enough. And this loss, you know, it hurt these kids, and I feel bad for them.
I want to make sure we get some questions for the student athletes as well.
Coach, WSET in Lynchburg, we saw when your starter went down earlier, you roll with Blaze, who's I think it was your third stringer. For those of us that, you know, aren't familiar with the really majority of your team, talk to us a little bit about why you roll with Blaze, and just talk to us a little bit about who he is as a player. I know you mentioned you didn't bat an eye when you threw him out there. Let's talk a little bit about him.
Well, I think the big thing is you know, he's certainly got a bright future, and you know, Eli had been sick all week too and didn't practice. And with that being said, you know, we've been using him as, you know, all kinds of places and all over. But you know, Blaze has not been a third teamer or whatever people think. But young man's got a lot of talent, a lot of grit, and you know, when you get behind like that, you're throwing the ball every time. I mean, he took a beating, and from the D line. So, like I said, his future's bright, and you know, he did let's see here. He was 10 and 19 for 134 yards, and didn't turn it over. And so, put in that position in this type of game, you couldn't ask anymore.
Keyshawn, this obviously was the second time you guys had seen Salter. What did you recall from him back in early September, and how was he different perhaps tonight?
I mean, he's definitely gotten better as a player. You know, he's a great leader for that team. He's going, and you know, I mean, anything that we try to do, he hurt us. I mean, you send 7, 6, he's going to just throw the ball out quick, and there's no point in the blitz. You know, he's going to run the ball, and then he'll step back in the pocket and he'll throw a great ball. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he hurt us, and he's the reason they're 13-0 now.
Jonathan, obviously, multiple times, I think in the second half, you guys were down 2 touchdowns, and you're able to fight back and get back in the game. Just what did you think of what you guys were able to do to just kind of get back in the game and fight back a couple of times?
Man, this team been fighting the whole year, man. Like, it wasn't nothing new for us. We've been in that situation before. We trust our brothers and everything. So
we just told each other like, let's go. That was really what we said in the huddle. It's nothing different, you know. I trust my brothers, they trust me. At the end of the day, we fight.
Jonathan, obviously Diego went out in the third quarter. I saw him though multiple times kind of get up off the sideline and go and talk to Blaze and a few of you guys. Just what did he still manage to bring to the team even though he wasn't playing?
Yeah, man, he's a team player, man. He was just encouraging all of us, encouraging Blaze. You know, that was his first game, so he did a great job. So he was just telling Blaze, keep going, telling us, keep going. You know, just supporting our brothers. That was the main goal.
And then just for all of you, if you all want to answer this kind of similar question to what I asked Coach Kill, obviously this isn't the result you guys wanted, but still an incredible achievement for this program and arguably the biggest game the team has ever played in. What does it mean to you guys to be a part of this team right now?
I mean, it means a lot to us. You know, we started off the season slow, so for us to come back and be able to play them again, you know, have a second chance. I mean, we preached all week. You don't get second chances in life, and it's very rare for us to do that. You know, I think the biggest thing for us right now is to stay together, keep our heads up, and prepare for the next game.
If we don't have any more questions in the room, we'll shift to Zoom for, let's do 2, Eric. No? All right, well, thank you all very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care. Travel safe. I thank everyone again for joining us for the 2023 CUSA Championship Game post-game press conference. We have from the audience's left to right, head coach Jamey Chadwell, quarterback and game MVP Caden Salter, wide receiver CJ Daniels, and defensive back Brandon Bishop. Coach, we'll go ahead and start with a short opening statement from you before opening it up to the room for questions. And then once we're finished with the people in person, we can shift over to a couple Zoom questions if there are any. So we'll go ahead and start with Coach. If you could go ahead and start with an opening statement.
Yeah, let me say, let's give credit to New Mexico State and Coach Keel. Tremendous team, tremendous competitors. That was a hard-fought game. And I thought both teams were great representatives of this conference, and it was a great championship game. Obviously, I'm very proud of our team. Things didn't go perfect for us. We obviously took their best shot, but there was never a doubt on our sideline that we were going to find a way to get it done. This group of men have had that mindset all year long, that they believed and thought they'd find a way to get it done. And to be able to do that, be 13-0, be Conference USA champions, we thought that was out there. You know, we thought we could achieve that if things went our way, and boy, did it go our way off season long. And so, just a pleasure to be their coach and be a part of the team and what they were able to do.
Go ahead and open it up to questions. If you could please raise your hand. Eric will find you with the microphone. And we'll go ahead and start in the room. Eric, right up here.
Coach, you kind of talked about it on your on-field interview, but you mentioned during your press conference earlier this week that if Liberty got the job done tonight, that you thought that the team had what it would take to get a New Year's Six. Could you just add a little bit more to that? Do you think Liberty deserves to get that New Year's Six win?
100% I do. You got 13 wins. Our average margin of victory versus bowl eligible teams, it was 17 going in tonight. It was 14 for this win, so I can't do that math. I don't know what that'll knock it down to, but 16. And we beat 6 bowl eligible teams. That's the highest G5 in the country. Nobody else is above 4 currently. And so 13 up, 13 down, 6 teams that you beat that are going to bowl games. One of those teams you beat twice and went to SEC country and hammered a SEC team who turned around and gave up a miracle, or they would have beat a team that's considered for the playoffs. So our team has earned the right to be in there regardless of what happens tomorrow. But if you go all 13 weeks and match us up with who we're competing against for that spot, all the measurables, all the margins of victory, the people we beat that are bowl eligible, we have more wins, more margin of victory, and we've dominated. You know, as you look through, we've dominated the last 6 weeks. We've played games and we've finished and dominated those. Anything else you want me to add? Because I got a bunch.
Yeah, I got one more on that. You guys could have punched it in there at the end to make it an even wider margin, but you ended up taking a knee at the very end. Take us through the thought process.
You know what? I did think about it. I did, because I know the committee's watching, and obviously 21's more than 14. But one thing that we've tried to do, and like I said, me committed to do, is treat everybody we play with respect. And I've been on that other side when people try to run that up on you, and my heart would not let me do that. I respect Coach Keel. They played a great game. He chose not to take his timeouts, and there was no need for us to run that score up. And so I don't want to embarrass anybody. You know, we've had, if you go back, we've had the ball 4 times where we could have scored at the end of the game and made our margin of victories. And I hope the committee looks at that. But we challenge our young people to do the right thing consistently. And if I'd have scored there, I don't think that would have been the right thing. It's in the message. I'm a football coach, but I'm leading young men and trying to give an example for them. And I didn't think that set the right example for what we preached on.
Caden David Teal with the Times-Dispatch in Richmond. More than 700 yards of offense, no turnovers. Given what was at stake tonight, is this the best football game you've ever played?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like today I just went out and had fun. So that was the main goal today. Although this was a big championship game, big game to everybody, to us, this was just the next one. And we just wanted to go out there and play for each other today. So that's what we just wanted to go out and execute all week at practice. We knew this moment had come. So just a big shout out to everybody that prepared us, the coaching staff, trainers, nutrition, everybody that helped us get to this point and help us finish this season 13. It's just a big blessing.
In the back corner.
Yeah, Anthony Romano from WDBJ in Roanoke for Coach and for Brandon. Your interception there in the fourth quarter was a huge kind of turning point for Coach. What did that play do to the sideline and for that defense? And then Brandon, what was that like to pull that down?
Man, it was surreal getting that interception. I knew my team needed to play, and our backs were against the wall, and we just needed to play. And I felt like I could make that play. And I just kept refocusing after each play. Our coaches harped on that this week about refocusing good, bad, and ugly. And that's what we kept on doing each drive. You know, no matter what, we just kept refocusing, and that's what happened on that play.
You know, the way the game was going, we had a fourth down stop that we got stopped on a fourth down we got, and the measurement missed a field goal. We made them punt one time. You needed to stop. It was going back and forth, and the way that game was going, and they were driving obviously to score. We needed somebody to step up there to send that tie because it was going to come down sort of the last person had the ball. And that was a huge play because they were going to tie it up. That allowed us to get that 14-point lead or to go drive and get that 14-point lead and give us the margin that we needed to, I don't want to say relax, but I think it gave us a jolt of energy because when you're doing your best defensively and maybe they're making plays on you, start questioning yourself sometimes, right? And we need somebody in those moments to step up. And Brandon's been able to do that all year long. But that was a huge fight. It was one-arm catch. It was unbelievable. And proud of him and just he's been here for 1 year and the impact he's made has been tremendous.
CJ, the offense again, 700 plus yards. What it seems like you guys keep getting better as the year's gone on too, especially you in particular coming off the injury last year. Maybe if you could just speak to the connection with Caden that you've had over the year and how that's grown as the year's gone on.
First and foremost, man, I got to thank God just for allowing me to be on this platform. And I think us getting better just goes back to our consistency in practice. You got to practice like you play. So, we got to come out there and practice hard every day. We can't just take it for granted. So I think that led to us, I felt like as an offense, we had our best game today. The connection for me and Salter, I think, first and foremost, roommates. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it comes from that. We just got to bond outside of football. And me just keeping his skills up and keeping mine up. I think where that connection comes from.
Ryan Moy, WFXR News. How are you guys doing? Congratulations. I heard what you guys said about Taj and dedicating the season to him. How does it feel to really get this done for him?
Man, it's just a big blessing for us and just to his family, just knowing that he was supposed to be here with us today, although he still is here with us today. It's just a big blessing, honestly. I mean, we had long nights and a lot of things going on when that happened back then. And we just knew that this season we just had to fight hard for him and fight hard for his family. And that's what we did. So, words can't explain it.
For any of you guys, speak about the crowd and what you guys were able to kind of pull out of them tonight.
Oh, yeah, that was all them. Just the fans, they do that every week. Every time we have a home game, everybody know in Conference USA, Liberty has the best fans. So that's a fact. Yeah. They most definitely came out today, brought everybody out, and brought everybody out and supported us today for this championship game. And it was very important for us to just come out there and get the win for everybody. Like I said in the past interview, this wasn't just about us today. This runs way longer than just today. This runs years back, and everything is just the Liberty Foundation. We went out there and did it today for that.
I'll echo something that I've been in places where our student body, they leave, halftime, different things, and they just leave no matter what the game is. And our student body and our fans in here, but they stay through all 4 quarters. And when we needed, we need them in big moments. They're loud. They're after it. They're booing when the bad calls were happening. They're doing all those things, and it's special. I know our team appreciates that because we travel different places, and other people don't have those things.
Brandon, that's a really good team with a really good quarterback, and you faced him before. What was different today about defending that offense, and how do you guys kind of adjust mid-game to what they were doing?
They did a lot of different things. I feel like from this game to from the first game to this game, And we just had to adjust at halftime for certain things that they were doing and contain the quarterback. The quarterback was rushing, and that was kind of hurting us. And we had to plaster to our mans when we were man-to-man in coverage, and that was the most trouble we were having when we were on the field because he was scrambling and they were just running around, and that was the most difficult thing that we had to adjust to. But we did as best as we could to adjust to that.
Did they say why they took him out? Was he hurt? Diego, did he get hurt? Okay.
Jamey, you mentioned right here, after the pick, you're still only up a touchdown. You need to put points on the board to take advantage of it. The 35-yard touchdown run by Caden was pretty spectacular from upstairs. What was it like on the side?
Spectacular from downstairs too. It's one of those no, yes. One of those things, and that's what he's able to do. Lord's blessed him with just a great natural ability, and then the confidence that he's playing with. We had a play on, and they gave us a different look, and he was wise enough not to run out there and do something to potentially be a turnover, a lost play, and then he made some people miss. And that's a gift that he has. And the thing that I'm so impressed with him by is he knows that he's made so much strides from January to now. But I think what goes unsaid is he's been a great leader for our group, and our team. And quarterback's the leader, regardless whether you want to be or not. And he's really embraced that piece of it. And I think that's why you've seen our offense have so much success. And also when our defense runs out there, they feel like, hey, those guys are going to get us points. And I think that is what I've been most impressed with him. I knew he had the talent. Just the way he's embraced that piece of it, been tremendous.
And then how long did it take you after you arrived to realize that he had that in him?
Well, I think when you watch video, you're talking about his talent. Oh,
both. The talent and
talent.
the
You watch video and see he's got athletic talent.
Yeah.
What his challenge would have been is, hey, can he harness it and be a quarterback and not rely on what quarterbacks do? And he, to his credit, after the spring, he made a commitment to himself, to his team. I think he trusted us that we had his best interest. Coach Corn and Coach Dixon do a fantastic job, and I think he knew that no matter what he did, we had his back, and that's all he needed. He just needed to know, hey, if he goes out there and makes a mistake, that he's not going to get pulled. He's not going to do that. But hey, he's our guy. And we made once we made the decision, we told him that this is your team, and he ran with it. And I think August is when he really started making that turn. You knew the towns that were really making that turn as far as he wants this.
Back to the back. Coach, WSET in Lynchburg, you kind of touched on this earlier on when you said that it was kind of going to be a game where it was going to be whoever had the ball last. At least that's how it was in the first half. Did you make any adjustments at halftime? And if you did, can you elaborate on those? And the second part of the question is your first year in Conference USA, and then you guys can answer as well. First year in Conference USA, and you come out undefeated, you win the conference championship. Can you kind of elaborate as to what that means and what that feels like to those of us that maybe haven't played before?
Your first question, you're always trying to make some adjustments, whether it's defense, offense, as far as, hey, Brandon said earlier, they're doing a little bit different. Hey, we're going to run these things to this or this package. Offensively, you're trying to stay ahead of the curve a little bit as far as, hey, they've shown this. What's another play that we can go to? But I mean, truth be told, I think the adjustment was me. I didn't make any. It was more just stop worried about what's happening, because when they were scoring on us, I think our defense was getting frustrated a little bit and this or that, and just focus on what we can control. That's my job as a head coach, is to make sure their mindset's right? And when maybe you're not playing as well defensively, you start questioning yourself. And so my jobs are to recognize that and sense the temperature of the team. Offensively, we were doing well, so the main thing is, hey, keep it going, right? Keep it going. I'll let those guys answer about the conference USA, the 13-0.
I think for us as a team, being our first year in the conference, we definitely wanted to make a statement. And I think every week we just took it as, this is the next game. We out there, we just having fun, not even knowing, I felt like 12-0 came up on us quick, not even knowing, we just living in the moment, not even knowing, we making history. So I think that's the biggest thing for us as a team. We were just having fun, and the season just crept up on us, and You know, now we're here now 13-0 Conference USA champs, man. It's a blessing.
And I'll just add in, you know, our they knew they wanted to win a championship. We didn't talk a lot about going undefeated. We didn't talk a lot about winning the championship. It was really, can we be the best version of Liberty? And can Liberty not beat Liberty every week? That's what we talked about all the time. Don't let Liberty beat Liberty. And can we go play our best and chase our best game, you know, no matter who the opponent was. And so those guys, the team did a tremendous job. Our leaders did a tremendous job of keeping us on that message. They did a fantastic job. They, like, again, with all the change that went around, all these different questions, the team could have splintered. And because of the leaders, the men here and the other men in the room, they made this happen, you know, and that's what's special about it.
CJ, Caden accounted for 68% of the offense today, completed at 80% of his passes, leading rusher on the team. You're his roommate. Did you notice a different focus leading into this game, even more from Caden than he normally has? And if so, when did that happen?
I don't think I noticed anything different. You know, I think just us as an offense, you know, we trying to chase perfection, even though we're not going to be perfect. So I think for him, you know, if the ball in his hands, I'm okay with it. So I think for him, he's a great leader. You know, I see it week in and week out. I seen it before the season. He put the time in, came in on the weekends. He just did the extra. So you know, I've been seeing it. This ain't nothing new to me.
Caden 13-0 conference champions. It's also the first year under Coach Chadwell and his staff. What do you think they did to kind of help pull this team together and get you guys to where you're at today?
They just brought us in and won, and they helped us not helped us understand, but Coach Chadwell came in and he set the bar. I mean, whatever he say, he's going to do. So if somebody miss class, 6 a.m. we're going to be on that field, and he's going to stand on that. So we just understand that he's not nobody to play with when it comes to this, and we're gonna go do everything. We're gonna want to do everything right. We're gonna be one, and we just gonna compete. Everybody want to be physical. Everybody want to be the physicalest team, this and that. And we went out there today, and my boys was playing physical up front. The O-line, I don't know what Coach Dirk did to them, but y'all seen everything that they've done this season. And just a big blessing just to be here and be under that style.
CJ, I think you said recently that, you know, coming into a new season, you weren't necessarily sure about everything. But a lot of guys leaving, new coaching staff coming in. Exceeded your expectations? And if so, can you give me like an example of how?
That's a great question. I think this coaching staff has definitely exceeded my expectations. Just for me, like, playing football all my life, I've never been a part of like a culture that's so together. You know, and it's not just ball. You know, I think these coaches, Coach Chadwell, definitely try to make it as fun as possible for us. You know, during the summer we had a team event every week, so I think it's just little things like that brought us closer as a team, and I think those things definitely got us here today. Just being together.
Right, we are going to open it up to those on Zoom. I want to give an opportunity to those who have joined us via Zoom. If you do have a question, please use the raised hand function and we will get to you shortly.
No questions.
No.
Come on, Zoom.
All right, well.
Let's make up one.
I got one.
All right.
Coach, obviously, I'm sure you would have preferred the expanded playoff this year, but however the bowl situation shakes out, how important was it for you guys to have a season like this, knowing what opportunities could be ahead for Liberty with the expanded playoff next year?
Well, I think anytime you have success in a year and you have tremendous success like these young men have, that builds a lot of positive people across the country take notice. And so going into the next year, you know, you hopefully have a lot of people returning, then that gives you a chance to be ahead of the curve a little bit. You know, the challenge we faced this year is we were way down, right? And the teams were chasing the G5 because the years they've had previously and all those things where they were higher. And they just slowly kept going down, and we slowly kept rising. And so we had a long way to climb, but they've climbed that. And so now, because of the success this year, that puts you on that one of that group of 3-4 people that, hey, going into preseason, there's somebody to watch because, you got a good group coming back, et cetera. So it does help tremendously. But again, I would challenge how far we had to climb from where, people perceived us, right? And we made that a huge climb. I don't know what we was ranked preseason wise, but it was probably low, right? And now we're 24 and, Lord willing, we keep going higher. That's a testament, but also that builds up for the next couple of years.
Thank you all very much. Congratulations again to the four up here.
Thank you guys.
And thank you everyone for joining us.
Flames.
Flames.